Hey, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're unpacking something really interesting.
Yeah. What have we got?
We were given this document described as, well, a rough draft, sort of a starting point for conversation, you know? It lays out a vision for something quite ambitious.
Okay, interesting. Sounds like potential.
It's a concept tied to the Health Engineering Group, or HG,
Uh,
and it's centered around creating these places they call eco-spirit villages.
okay. Eco spirit villages. And what's the angle?
What makes this stand out is the incredible blend they envision. It's about sustainable living, yes, but really intertwined with like peak human performance, longevity, and overall well-being.
So not just eco-friendly, but human potential focus too.
Exactly. All integrated into these unique physical destinations they want to build around the world.
Right. So our mission for this deep dive then is to really dig into this comprehensive vision.
Yeah, figure out what it's all about.
It seems to cover a vast landscape. I mean, everything from fascinating biological facts, like apparently all the DNA in your body could stretch twice the diameter of the solar system if you unspooled it,
Wow, okay. Didn't know that.
to, specialized fitness systems and regenerative farming techniques. We want to extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight for you from this source.
Okay, let's unpack this vision then.
Yeah.
At its core, it's about establishing whole system ecology sustainable villages. That's the term they use.
Right, and the document says the fundamental aim, the feeling they want to inspire, is being alive with a life purpose.
That's powerful. So it's not just about the structures or the tech.
No, it seems to be about cultivating an environment that fosters that sense of, vital connection and meaning.
And the plan is ambitious. Replicate these globally, but consciously adapting them to local cultures. That seems crucial for something like this.
Absolutely key for scalability and acceptance. And the philosophy outlined, particularly in this Imagine section they have, it's quite compelling.
Yes.
It frames this whole thing as a unique opportunity to showcase human potential at its best. Like, after difficult times, there's a call for individuals and humanity to express their light side.
Their light side.
Yeah, embodying deep love, compassion, caring for one another, and connecting to an inner peace. That's the language used.
Okay, that really ties into this powerful statement they use. We are all one tribe.
Exactly. They link this directly to the Aloha spirit and the principles championed by the Prem Rawat Foundation, which focuses on advancing dignity, peace, and prosperity.
So there's a strong philosophical underpinning.
Definitely. And the vision for the actual park destination itself is described, well, vividly, like the Disneyland of fun, love and joy, health, and ultimate performance.
Disneyland level, huh? That's a high bar.
It is, and what's crucial, I think, is the emphasis on accessibility. It's designed for everyone, from someone in a wheelchair to the elite athlete. It's meant to be universally engaging.
That inclusivity is a really significant point. You don't always see that.
No, you don't. The document emphasizes that the park is intended as a reminder to find inner joy and celebrate life. It even mentions integrating the peace education program directly into the experience.
So it reinforces that focus on inner well-being alongside all the physical performance stuff.
Precisely. So you have this blend, the physical environment, cutting-edge practices, and this philosophical core focused on peace and human connection.
Okay, so how does this grand vision actually take physical form? That's where the ultimate performance part comes in, right?
That's the idea. It's framed as a one-stop shop for all things ultimate performance related.
One-stop shop. Got it. And what are the main attractions?
Well, the anchor attractions are designed to be world-class. The centerpiece sounds like a world-class wave park or lagoon using Surf Lakes technology.
Surf lakes, I've heard of that. It's that concentric wave tech, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. They use a single central mechanism, basically a huge plunger, to create multiple distinct waves simultaneously around a circular lagoon.
Yeah.
The source says it generates 5 different A-frame peaks, suitable for everyone from beginners up to advanced surfers. We're talking waves hitting 4 to 8 feet, including barrels, carvable faces, plus smaller whitewater waves for learning.
Okay, 5 different waves at once. What about capacity? Surfing usually involves a lot of wading.
That's what's interesting. The throughput numbers mentioned are impressive. The source states it can produce something like 2,400 rides per hour in total.
2,400 rides an hour.
Across all the breaks, yeah. But the real insight there is what it means for you, the surfer. Even if there are 200 people in the lagoon, you could potentially still catch around 10 waves in an hour session.
10 waves an hour. That's huge compared to the ocean sometimes.
It really is. And the scale is notable too, an 8.8-acre footprint just for the lagoon. Plus, over 800 meters of shoreline around it available for development.
So space for beaches, cafes, viewing areas, that kind of thing.
Exactly. They highlight design flexibility too, mentioning limitless themes, the ability to fit into existing lakes, even shaping the central mechanism to look like a natural island. Apparently, they consider wind direction during design for optimal conditions.
Smart. And it's not just surfing, is it?
No, the document lists a huge variety of water activities: swimming, water polo, kayaking, sailing, diving, different types of board sports.
Yeah.
They also mention different pools, leisure pools, Olympic size, diving tanks,
So a full aquatic center, basically.
pretty much. And the source notes that Surf Lakes, the tech provider, has experience in all phases: design, feasibility, construction, operations. And they emphasize a focus on regenerative development,
Regenerative, meaning,
aiming to leave the environment better than they found it. That fits the whole eco-spirit theme.
okay, so you've got this massive water component covered in depth. What else is part of this physical park vision?
Well, there's a significant adventure fitness park area. The description focuses on integrating fun, fitness, and joy into the experience.
Fun fitness. I like the sound of that. What does it involve?
This is where it gets really interesting. The list of activities is huge. The tree course, NINJ courses, ropes courses, fun walls, caves, zip lines, roll gliders, adventure trails, specialized playgrounds like Cloud Climb and Elevate Playgrounds.
Wow. Okay. Quite the list.
They specifically mention a partnership with Waltopia. They're known for focusing on safety, promoting fundamental movement patterns, and yeah, providing that healthy dose of adrenaline.
Waltopia. Right, they do a lot of climbing walls and stuff.
Exactly. Features like their tree course are highlighted. It's described as a multi-level ropes course, a 30-meter tall structure designed for high capacity. And interestingly, it has a viewing deck accessible by wheelchair.
Wheelchair accessible viewing deck on a ropes course.
Yeah, again, reinforcing that inclusivity point. It seems pretty core to the vision.
That definitely delivers on the wheelchair to elite athlete promise in a surprising way.
It does.
Yeah.
And the concept of an adventure hub is described combining multiple attractions like ropes courses, climbing walls, and the roll glider within a single structure.
So maximizing the fun density.
Kinda, yeah. They also detail the climbing walls and bouldering walls, emphasizing accessibility and their social nature, making them suitable for all skill levels and encouraging interaction.
And for people who thrive on a bit of competition.
There's the ninja course, designed to spurt competitive spirit, enhance stamina, apparently easy to operate and maintain. The overall theme is clearly offering diverse, fun physical challenges all in one area.
Okay, but the document doesn't stop there for physical activities, does it? I remember seeing a long list.
No, it definitely doesn't stop. The sheer breadth of other dedicated sports parks listed is quite remarkable.
Like what?
Like equestrian climbing, separate from the adventure park walls, indoor skydiving, even indoor alpine skiing, that's a specific one.
Indoor skiing, yeah.
Ninja obstacle courses, again, maybe more competitive than the adventure park one. Gymnastics, trampoline parks, dedicated sports performance centers, yoga studios, martial arts dojos, dance spaces, tennis, pickleball, basketball, skate parks, BMX bike tracks.
Good grief, that covers almost everything.
Pretty much. The insight here is less about the nitty-gritty of each one, but the overall vision of creating a place where almost any physical discipline or sport interest is catered for at a high level.
A truly universal hub for physical activity.
Seems to be the goal. And supporting all of this, they envision world-class hospitality and facilities.
You need places to stay and eat.
Exactly. This includes a range of accommodation types: hotel, condos, even things described as Tahitian huts, plus a food concept focusing on locally 5 defense systems eco-base optimal nutrition.
5 defense systems eco-base optimal nutrition. What does that mean?
The source doesn't detail the 5 defense systems, but it seems to imply a holistic, maybe vertically integrated approach to highly nutrient-dense food, probably tied into their farming ideas we might get to later.
Okay, intriguing. And other facilities.
Various academies for learning different sports, shops, offices, and an amphitheater are also mentioned.
Got it. So that covers the physical destination. But the vision extends way beyond just a park, doesn't it? It includes these research and educational arms.
Absolutely. This is where the institutes come in. Seems really core to the whole HAG concept. First, the Eco Spirit Institute.
Okay, and what's its focus?
Its focus is on whole system ecology, fostering global alliances, and developing truly innovative environmental solutions on site.
On-site solutions like,
Things like renewable energy generation, advanced recycling systems,
Yeah.
composting all waste, including human waste, for landscaping that's specific, using only non-toxic chemicals, and developing or using bioplastics. Really hands-on stuff.
and there's that particularly intriguing concept mentioned, xenohormesis farming methods.
Yes, this is a fascinating insight from the source, I thought. It's the idea of intentionally stressing plants using controlled drought or salinity, for instance,
Stressing plants, why?
to trigger them to produce higher levels of protective compounds, specifically more extra-nutritional constituents. These are beneficial compounds beyond basic vitamins and minerals.
So stressing the plant makes it better for you.
That's the hypothesis. By maximizing these beneficial compounds directly in the food, the idea is you might reduce the need for dietary supplements. It's about enhancing nutrition right at the source.
That is a surprising nugget, making food itself more potent.
Yeah. The document acknowledges this requires significant research, and it mentions plans for a certification program around this method.
Interesting. Okay, what's the next institute?
Next is the HEG Longevity Institute. And this one is incredibly ambitious. It's aiming for like a fundamental paradigm shift.
The goal here is to address aging as a health condition, right? Not just something inevitable.
Precisely. The unique insight here is the aim to not just manage the diseases of aging, but to actively slow down or even reverse the biological aging process itself.
So your biological age could be significantly lower than your actual chronological age.
That's the goal. The belief outlined is that this could dramatically mitigate chronic diseases like heart disease, cancer, dementia, and result in massive cost savings in healthcare systems globally.
Huge implications if they can pull that off.
Massive. They detail plans for on-site certification training for medical professionals, global promotion of applying longevity science, working towards government approvals, developing longevity tourism, offering scholarships, and collaborating with corporations and governments.
So it's not just lab research, it's about implementation and dissemination globally.
Seems so. Then there's the Ultimate Performance Institute. Its role is kind of predictable, given the park to consolidate and advance the best performance technologies, science, and training strategies.
And embed them across all the sports academies in the park.
Exactly. They plan to develop ultimate performance fitness certifications and establish these world-class academies with global sharing scholarship programs for different age groups.
Global sharing scholarships.
Yeah, intending to send graduates out as global fitness ambassadors.
Mhm.
It sounds like a hub for both developing and exporting expertise and performance.
Okay. And there was one more institute mentioned briefly.
Yes, the Institute for Financial Engineering. Its function seems focused on funding global companies aligned with the vision and, importantly, beta testing sustainable projects and technologies on site.
Testing them within the village or park context.
Right, to demonstrate their effectiveness and economic viability in a real-world setting before scaling them, perhaps.
So they're integrating financial models and real-world testing directly into the physical location and research efforts. It really reinforces that whole system concept they mentioned at the start.
It really does. Now, should we dive into the core approach to the physical training itself within this whole vision centered around the Ultimate Performance Center?
Yeah, let's get into that. This center is described as the central hub, right? Integrating all the physical activities available throughout the park.
That's right. And the clear goal stated is to optimize sports performance, overall health, health span, the period of life spent in good health, and general fitness for everyone.
And they explicitly say again, from the wheelchair athlete to the elite.
Yes, that inclusivity theme runs strong. It's about enhancing natural human movements, flexibility, mobility, strength for both daily life and specific sports.
And they articulate this core training philosophy that kind of challenges the common go hard or go home idea.
That's a key insight from the document. Less is more, train smart, and do not overtrain. That's a direct quote.
Less is more. Interesting.
And crucially, having fun in training is presented not just as a nice bonus, but as fundamental to the approach.
Okay, fun and smart training. They also introduced the concept of conscious training. What's that about?
Yeah. This means maintaining intense focus during the exercise itself, focus on proper form, body mechanics, technique.
So being really present in the movement.
Exactly. And the absolutely crucial rule derived from this is stop the exercise the moment your form begins to break down. Don't push through bad reps.
Why is that so important, according to the source?
Because, as the document states, training trains the nervous system. You don't want to practice and therefore reinforce bad movement patterns or inefficient technique.
Ah, okay. So every rep is teaching your brain and body something. Make sure it's the right thing.
Precisely. Training should be, as they put it, like an archer focusing on precision, not just blindly firing arrows. It should be fun, relaxed, but extremely focused on the quality of movement.
That really shifts the emphasis from just pure exertion to intelligent movement and like neurological programming.
It does. And underpinning this whole approach is what they call fitness wisdom, 12 fitness systems to bulletproof your fitness.
Love systems. That sounds comprehensive.
Well, they mention researching and integrating 11 specific systems into their platform currently, with plans to add more based on scientific validation. The explicit goal is creating one of the best fitness platforms that exist in the world today.
Ambitious goal. What kind of systems are included?
It's a pretty diverse list. Some are specific methodologies like Kenneth J's peaking programs and various code trainings. Cardio code, kinetic code for power and efficiency, mobility code, weight cutting code, recovery code, even concussion rehab code.
Kenneth J. Yeah, known for his VO2 max work and kettlebell stuff. Okay, what else?
There's a group described as a ground-up system for human bulletproofing. This includes names like ATG, Athletic Truth Group, GOTA, Greatest of All Time Actions, Structural Balance, The Outside Edge, and Posture Pro.
ATG and GOETA have followings focused on joint health, movement patterns starting from the feet up.
Exactly. Seems focused on building resilience from the ground up, aimed at enhancing durability for any age or ability.
Makes sense.
They also integrate, more traditional areas like mobile, flexibility, and strength training, and functional movement, referencing approaches like MoveNat training, natural movements like crawling, lifting, carrying, and fascial training, focusing on the body's connective tissue system. Basically, movements humans were naturally meant to do.
Okay. What else is on the list?
Becoming bulletproof is listed as a method for resetting the body. They also include specific exercises targeting often neglected areas: foot, ankle, tibia, knees, the VMO, that key knee stabilizing muscle, and hip flexors.
Targeting the weak links.
Seems like it. They also embrace innovative technologies like eccentric, isometric, and isokinetic training, different ways muscles contract under load. Also, real strength, described as hybrid training.
And then there are some more, let's say, cutting-edge or specialized methods.
Yes, like Keiatsu, that's blood flow restriction training, BFR, and Catalyst, which uses electrical muscle stimulation, EMS.
BFR and EMS, right? Both getting more attention lately.
Plus, high-intensity interval training, HIIT, which is pretty widely recognized now, and breathwork, specifically mentioning hypopressive techniques, which focus on core and pelvic floor activation, and othership methods, which is another known breathwork community.
So a real mix of established, emerging, and tech-based approaches.
Definitely. And the critical takeaway they emphasize for this whole platform is that it's intended to be dynamic. It's continually evaluated and updated based on rigorous science and post-clinical research. It's not a static program, but an evolving system.
Wow. Okay, so this vision we've unpacked, it's incredibly comprehensive, isn't it?
It really is. It weaves together environmental sustainability, cutting-edge fitness technology and philosophy, deep dives into longevity science, practical financial models, and this foundational philosophy of peace, community, and individual well-being.
All intended to manifest in these unique physical destinations.
It's certainly an ambitious, multifaceted concept presented in this document. Remember, it was framed as a jumping-off point for discussion and development. But yeah, it aims to create environments that nurture human potential on multiple levels.
It definitely gives you a lot to consider. For you, the listener, maybe take a moment to reflect on this kind of integrated approach. What stands out most to you?
Yeah, is it the idea of a destination that caters to every level of physical ability, from wheelchair users to the absolute elite?
Or maybe the notion of actively addressing aging as a condition to be managed or even reversed.
Or that concept of boosting nutrition right at the source through specific farming techniques, like that xenohormesis.
Or perhaps it's the fundamental connection they draw between achieving peak physical performance and finding inner peace and life purpose. How does this whole vision make you think about your own potential and well-being? Lots to mull over.